Okay, hello YouTube. This is the fourth take I've made of this video, so I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, at least keep it under 15 minutes. As you know, for those who, I talk to on the instant messengers and stuff, I'm got an issue with a borderline personality disorder, and if you couldn't tell from my timbre of my voice, I'm fighting a lot of demons, and it's not an easy fight. Earlier on during the cabin, during the hurricane, basically anything that kind of went wrong, that could go wrong, did. My previous video where where the waterline was busted, and I've had limbs trying to fall on me, all sorts of crap. Anyway, I was also eating carbs then too. I've been on the ketogenic diet for a long time. I've been finally losing weight and feeling better about myself and doing the cognitive behavioral therapy on my own, and it seems to be helping. However, I was basically set off, for lack of a better term. I hate using the politically correct terms. They piss me off so bad because people that don't have this stuff. Anyway, I'm unofficially diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and I have the paranoia avoidance subsets. And to give you perspective on that, for those who have bipolar condition, it's complementary, but the exact opposite, the contrapositive, if you will. There used to be a time where I could not stand bipolar, and I still don't. The bipolar stuff sets me off, or it can. I've gotten a lot better over the years. Basically, there's not much treatment for me because mine is not chemically induced, like you have the chemical imbalance in your brains, and you have to take the SSRIs to balance them out, like you have anxiety and stuff. Mine is a hardware thing. It's a memory trauma-based thing, and I won't tell you exactly how I came by it, but I've been this way most of my life, and it used to be real bad back in the day. Especially in high school, I was real quiet, and I never talked to anybody because I'd wall people off. It was a defense mechanism. Just keep people away. It's the only thing you can do, My fight or flight is constantly on, so you're very testy. If you look up the G.A.D. on the Wikipedia and other stuff, it'll explain a lot more better than I can. And I have, like I said, the avoidance and the paranoid and avoidance subsets. So basically, nowadays, even back then, flight was not only an option, but if there was a issue or somebody pissed me off or whatever have you, it was either I turn around and walled them off and never let them back in again, or the people I did let in either turned on me or did something shitty or whatever have you. I'd wall them off and keep them out permanently too. It's the paranoia bit is kind of goes hand in hand with that. The fight or flight mechanism is, and I'm trying to stay focused on the camera because I'm fighting my neuroticism right now. Because when I get this way, I get obsessed with instant and little piddly bullshit that doesn't matter, especially on instant messengers and stuff, because I'm afraid my point is not getting across. Not so much consciously, but subconsciously. My condition is rated mild to moderate. For those who've ever ran into people with my full-blown condition, they're crazy as fuck, and they're ultra violent. These are the kind of people they put in straitjackets and put in rubber rooms and tie them to chairs and shit. And it doesn't make them any better. They just get even more angry, and they get superhumanly strong. Luckily I've never had it that bad, and I hope to never get it. I'm afraid as I get older, it's getting worse, or maybe getting worse. Might just be me. But to try to condense all this stuff into a 15-minute video is really rough, and I don't want to bore the hell out of you. But my father is not the easiest person to get along with. He'll send me into a rage, like I'll go from like 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I mean, just off the fucking wall. And I'm conscious enough to know what's happening and try to be aware of it, but it still does not give me any control over my emotions. And as an example, because I was eating the carbs at the cabin and during the storms and me trying to do yard work or stuff, and I've got a busted pipe, I'm already pissed off. I've been on the keto, which seems to be helping, so there's something to this diet. When I started eating carbs, it started getting worse, like within a day, and it was only like 2 or 3 days, basically overnight. And if you notice from my previous, I had the keto eyes, I had the dark bags under the eyes from the ketogenic diet, which is apparently normal for this type, and they went away. But my cheeks puffed back up, and my double chin here, which is faded with the weight loss, suddenly showed back up. And that in turn pisses me off. And when I start getting into this, I'll stutter a lot. I'll get fidgety. Like this is very mild what I'm doing right here, right now. The Italian's coming out in me, as I say. I either want to push your face in, or I want to go and find a closet and lock the door, something like that. It's a lot of self blame. Like if somebody does something to you and you tend to blame yourself for their actions, and this is all going on in the back of your head, and it got so bad. Let me just give you an idea here. This is my CBT writings, and I've been a writing madman. And as you can tell here, I'll hold up what I got here. I've got about two subject notebook fulls of CBT work I've been doing, and that's like the affirmations and stuff like that. And this right here is the negative thoughts that I've been telling myself subconsciously. And you usually don't pay attention to these things, but you know that little voice in your head, you know, the self-talk you have in your head, that's your subconscious. And your subconscious can't tell reality from fantasy. So what happens is somebody will do something or say something or whatever have you, it gets in there, it can't tell fantasy from reality. You start blaming yourself, your emotions get high, which triggers the fight or flight mechanism, and the world is out to suddenly get you and whatever have you. And I'm really paraphrasing here. I'm up to 264, and this is after going through them again and eliminating basically the same things, phrased slightly different, unique negative thoughts. I've been really shitty to myself, and more than any other human being could do to me, and it's been part of my problem, which explains, you know, the fear, the anger and whatever else, and your cortisol raises, and then you want to eat as a defense mechanism because you're like trying to fill a hole, an emotional hole, and you push people away, which makes you even lonelier, and you start hating on them. I blew up at a cashier in Live Oak. This poor girl did absolutely nothing wrong, and I don't mean blow up like get in her face, you know, that kind of shit, but you know, enough to say, just give me my fucking shit. Let me get the hell out of here. You know, asking me all these dumbass questions. Everything just kept building. And the only way I can do this is to isolate myself so I don't have any more human input until it basically winds itself down. My father is like one of like I said, not the easiest person in the world to live with, and I'm having to stay with my parents part-time, which is disappointing and frustrating in and of itself. I don't know if anybody, because nowadays people are even as old as me are living with their parents, or their parents are living with them, or whatever have you, because of the prices, and it's very tense because the model of the nuclear family is basically breaking down, and everybody's stuck under the same house for economic reasons. And that doesn't sit well with me because I am very used to having my own space and area, and I don't like it invaded. It's another reason why I bought the cabin, because my apartment, I basically lived by myself. Even the women I was dating and the friends I have and shit, I couldn't stand to have them around me more than a few hours before, you gotta go. I was basically living in a loony bin, and as you see, I'm rambling a little bit, but it's the only way I can get this out. And this is why I'm isolating myself for a couple of days, so you know what the hell's going on. I'm not bonkers or anything, but part of the paranoia thing or whatever else, you'll kind of, I don't want to call it hallucinations. You're not hallucinating. It's figments of your subconscious. Like I'll see somebody drive by and it's not them. Matter of fact, they're not even there. And I may have seen it, I may not. I don't know. It's not like Napoleon's, standing behind me here, giving me the thumbs up or anything. But I'll hear things, and it's all coming out of my own head, and I recognize this. Most people in my condition can't. I'm a very rare, individual in the case like I can consciously where shit's going wrong. This shouldn't, they're not actually saying that. They're saying this, but you still have no control over your emotional response. And of course, your emotional response builds, your body reacts, and you go into the whole fight or flight thing, and that starts really filtering your reality. And I can notice the alterations in the reality because of, the way things actually are, and the way things I'm perceiving them are overlapping, and I can kind of, tell the difference. Most people with my condition can't. They merge. That's why they see, little red men under the bed and shit all the time. Or if you remember, Who Is It Now, that song, Please Go Away. Who can it be now? Do, 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 do. Don't come here and, I'll just run away. The only way, when I saw the doctor, they wanted me to see a shrink, and I got the impression that the shrink was not going to understand because of the politics and everything that's involved, and and plus people get confused. Like I was trying to explain, what I'm doing for self-help and stuff. I'm going through, I'm trying to put myself through CBT therapy, and that means something completely different in a certain lifestyle, and that caused a whole bunch of confusion there. But that's the kind of stuff that'll set me off. And the cabin, I think, pushed me, the storm kind of pushed me over, as well as the carbs. And I got back here, maybe thinking it was over, and of course I didn't even get in the door before I got, being yelled at for having a light on or something, and I don't even remember what, but I just fucking went off at him. And when I explode, I go into I'm going to fucking eat your face mode, and this is mild. I'm just doing it for demonstration purposes, and my temper will make me very ultra violent, and I've been in street fights over this shit with people I've never seen before or since, and I'm coming down now, but it's going to be another day or two, and it's frustrating. I'm looking for a therapist that's friendly to this, among other things, and that's not easy either, and plus taking the insurance. What else? I don't want to waste too much time. I'm up to 15 minutes now, and it's going to take like 2 hours to upload this damn thing, and I don't want to bore you, but that's what I'm doing. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not ghosting you. I'll be okie doke in a couple of days. My mood will probably change. I notice I'm having these. It's taken less time because I'm doing the CBT therapy. It's taken less time for me to come down. But several of you seen when I start getting excited, I start getting mean and you know, going to pit bull mode. I'm trying my damnedest. I'm sorry I blew up at you. I didn't mean it. It's like a low-grade PSTD, although I will never compare it to PSTD. But it's like that. That's all I've got for now. I just wanted to explain myself. So that's what's happening. I will talk to you later, YouTube. Thanks for watching. And I apologize for the potato quality.